progress.
Morning, everyone. Dan Bates, Chamber President. We are glad that you could join us this morning from the Greater Hamilton Chamber for coffee and conversation. We're going to hear from Kandyce Jones in just a little bit from W.H. Steiner, and I'll allow her to further introduce herself and her partner in crime here for the presentation. So this is the protocol. You are on Zoom. If you have a question, I'm sure that Kandyce won't mind if you interrupt her and ask the question, or you can put it in the chat box. If you're on Facebook Live, which is our larger audience usually, type your question in and Tiffany will make sure that it gets answered by the presenter. So with that, you know the protocol, you know who I am. We're going to find out who all of you are, and I'm going to turn it back over to Laura Merrill.
Hello, everyone. I'm Laura Merrill with the Greater Hamilton Chamber. Glad to have you all with us today. I will just go around and everybody introduce yourself. Tell me your name and what company you're with. Kathy, we will start with you.
Good morning. My name is Kathy Savagic Lewis, and I am with W.H. Steiner.
Great. Glad to meet you. Jennifer.
I am Jennifer Pierce. I'm with Modern Psychiatry and Wellness, and I do outreach for our company. We offer 3 locations. The third one's opening here in just a few days throughout Butler County, and you can walk into our facilities and receive any sort of behavioral health treatment that you potentially would need. Thank you.
Wonderful. Glad to have you with us today. Rusty.
I'm Rusty Allison. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm Rusty Allison. I'm with Advanced Online Insights.
Glad to have you with us. Chris, good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm Chris Cannell with the Hamilton City Schools. I'm the coordinator of community outreach.
Wonderful. And Zach.
Good morning, everyone. Zach Bohannon, Butler County Field Representative for Congressman Warren Davidson, Ohio's 8th Congressional District.
Glad to have you with us today, Zach. And Alexandra.
Hi, good morning. This is Alexandra Little. I'm actually with W.H. Steiner as well.
Awesome, perfect. Tiffany, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yes. Hello, I'm Tiffany Greb, Director of Marketing.
All right, perfect. So, Kandyce, we will let you take it from here.
Well, thank you, Laura, and nice to meet you all. Good morning. I am Kandyce Jones. I'm Senior Managing Partner at W.H. Steiner, and on the call we also have W.H. Steiner himself, owner and founder, and it is an honor and pleasure to be here with you this morning and have a conversation about something that most don't know about, but I am honored to share. And yes, at any time you want to interrupt me or if something goes over your head and your mind is blown, please unmute yourself, say, hold on, what do you mean? Ask away. We are all about answering questions. And after all, it's coffee and conversation, right? So I don't want to be up here presenting and, just being the only one to talk. I really want us to have a discussion about what it is we're going to cover today. And so the 3 things that I wanted to talk about were the Rule 7702, uninterrupted compound interest, and also the Secure Act 2.0 that just passed. So we're going to dive into those things, and I don't think that this should be a long call. I hope to have more of a conversation more than anything. So with that, I'm going to share my screen, if that's okay with you. Laura, I don't know where you went. I'm going to snag the screen here. Let's see.
Sorry about that. There you go.
Does it give me sharing permissions? Ah, it does. Okay. And when I start to share the screen, I'm not going to be able to see you anymore. So please interrupt me if I keep going and I don't hear or see you waving your hand. Okay, so let's see here. I don't normally use Zoom. So here we go. All right, so W.H. Steiner, we offer one benefit plan strategy, and that's called the 702S plan. And this is probably going to be the last career I ever have because I enjoy sharing what we do so much in teaching about the components that are involved in the 702S plan. It says individual plan, but of course this works for employers, employees, everyone. The reason why we picked the American flag is because it represents us. It represents hardworking American people who have a vision, still believe in the American dream, and it's just a really great representation of community and togetherness. And at WH Steiner, we certainly still believe in the American dream. So that's why we chose the American flag. And Zach, I'm sure you appreciate that too. So the purpose of the call today is to teach you about Rule 7702. So if you have your pen and paper, write that down, 7702, and the Secure Act 2.0, and also uninterrupted compound interest. Now, the 702S plan, which is the one benefit that we offer at WH Steiner, which uses all of those components, is designed for everyone, as I mentioned, individuals, owners, employers, entrepreneurs, real estate agent, brokers, contractors, husbands, fathers, wives, mothers. Now, children are not up here, but they definitely should be. Children, teenagers, young adults, the next generation, everyone. That is who we serve. So what does the 702S plan do? The 702S plan generates wealth with tax-free accumulation. It creates funds that can be used as your personal bank. It provides access to fund distribution tax-free. And it makes provisions to have funds available in the event of a serious illness or injury. Protects loved ones, family, and business continuity. So pretty much off the bat, you can see why I'm so excited and why we're so passionate about sharing this plan. So what are the key benefits and features of the 702S plan? And Tiffany, she just grabbed the screen, so I'm not sure why, but
Sorry,
I'm so
you
sorry
can
about that.
You
That's
can
okay.
reshare. We accidentally gave you host, so we are trying to go Facebook Live. So reshare. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. I just thought there was something you wanted to share as well. Okay, let's see. It doesn't show me where I can grab the screen anymore.
Hold on, we may have to re-co-host you. Sorry about that, Kandyce.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, you should have co-host now. Just reshare your screen. I apologize.
Ah, okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So what are the key benefits and features of the 702S plan? What do we do? Key benefits are, and sorry, my screen's doing all kind of weird stuff now. Lifetime tax-free income, uninterrupted compound interest, participation in the market upside, and protection from stock market declines. Now, the people that I speak to in the community, business owners, family, when I mention lifetime tax-free income, what I mean is you would never run out of money. It's for your entire lifetime. Uninterrupted compound interest. Laura, do you know about uninterrupted compound interest? Have you ever heard of that before?
I have not.
Okay, and that's okay. I also had not 5 years ago before I learned about this. I'd never heard of uninterrupted compound interest. Uninterrupted meaning to not be interrupted, to continue without stopping. Have you heard of compound interest before, Laura?
Yes, I've definitely heard of that.
Okay, So a lot of people have heard of compound interest, but they have not heard of uninterrupted compound interest. And so we're going to dive into that a little bit more and teach you about how that's done in the 702S plan. Participation in the market upside. Now, Alexandra Little, she's a young lady. She's in her 20s, and she's learning more about the 702S plan and how it, works. And before coming aboard with us, Alexandria, have you ever heard about participation in the market upside?
I actually have not. And that has been something that I have been learning about every day, and it's intriguing to me. And I love what all I've learned so far with being with the company. And I wish I would have known about it when I was 20 years old,
Of course. And, people in your 20s, you talk about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, the market, making money, participating in gains. But what about protection from stock market declines? The younger people can take risks, but risk is not something that I want to take. So have you ever heard of anything before that would give you participation in the gains of the upside, but also protect you from the downside of the market, the declines, Alexandria?
No, I have not. Not until I met y'all.
Okay, well, this is why we are here today, just to teach about how this is possible in the 702S plan using the features 7702 rule and uninterrupted compound interest. So here's some important features of the 702S plan. It gives you flexibility to increase or decrease contributions for building lifetime tax-free retirement. Discretionary access to cash accumulation. Funds for serious illness or injury. It's going to help you leave a legacy for your loved ones. This is about planning for life. And we use very, very key components to make this possible for everyone. Like I said, it doesn't matter how old you are, who you are. This is the plan for the people. So you've come here to learn about a very important tax code, 7702. And you'd be surprised to learn that this was created by the IRS. The tax rule 7702 was created by the United States Congress in 1984. It is a section of the U.S. Internal Revenue Code that defines what the federal government considers to be a legitimate life insurance contract and is used to determine how the proceeds generated by the policy are taxed. Since 1984, a life insurance contract that has a cash accumulation feature that meets the compliance rule of the 7702 code is given the favorable tax status of loans from the contract being tax-free disbursements. The contract must also pass both the cash value accumulation test, the CVAT, and the guideline premium test, the GPT, to fully be compliant. This is how the 702S plan was born. Our founder and owner, W.H. Steiner, learned about this tax code, and it completely changed the way we see life insurance, the way people know life insurance. Only in a life insurance contract can you use the tax code 7702. Zach, are you still on this call? I can't really see anybody. Are you still here, sir?
I am.
But now you and I have had the chance to talk before a little here and there. And I just wanted to know, before you met me, did you ever know about the 7702 IRS tax code?
I knew some things about the IRS, but not that.
Right. And I was even surprised that you didn't know. And that's just the key here. And what I really want to shine a light on is I didn't even know. Most people don't know about this. Now, that being said, it's very serious and it takes, like it says, you must comply with this rule. And so we are passionate about making sure that all of our clients reap the benefits of this tax code, that they do meet that cash value accumulation test requirement, and that we are following the guidelines in their insurance contract. So they can have a legitimate life insurance contract that will give them favorable tax whenever they need their money as a loan from the contract. So if you didn't know about this and you're learning about this for the first time, it's awesome. And please write this number down, Google it yourself, reach out to me or anyone on our team, ask more questions, dive into it, get your money people around this, and let's talk about it. Because this is how you're going to build wealth and how you're going to access it tax-free. So contributions to the 702S plan, which is structured around the 7702 tax code, will accumulate funds for an individual tax-free. Your account increases with uninterrupted compounding interest, Laura. Uninterrupted compounding interest. Account increases with the stock market, but is protected from any stock market losses. You heard that right. Your account increases with the stock market, but it is protected from any stock market losses. So this is for all of my visual learners out there to show you what compound interest looks like. So this is an example of an individual whose initial amount is $10,000. Now, we've illustrated this at 8% annual compound interest. This individual, because it is different depending on your age, is 20 years of age. And this is what 60 years of uninterrupted compounding cycles looks like for $10,000. As you can see, when they are 80 years of age, they're over $1 million of tax-free income for this individual. This is what uninterrupted compounding cycles can do for wealth inside of a 702S plan. Now, I'd like to pause here for a minute and ask, does anyone have any questions? And if you have questions and you don't want to unmute yourself, you can type in the chat box and Laura or Tiffany will ask a question. But now's a good time to ask.
Hey, Candace, this is Rusty.
Hi, Rusty.
Hi, where's the, maybe you said this and I just missed it, but where's the 8% annual compound interest coming? That seems like a really good interest rate.
Actually, this is illustrated below the S&P market index cycle that we sign our clients up with, but we use insurance carriers, top A-rated insurance carriers, because we are in advanced market products here. And we line you up with the proper index. And inside of the insurance index, you are now participating indirectly in the market, and your savings can generate wealth for you uninterrupted. Does that answer your question?
I think so. I'm just trying. Forgive me, I'm not a financial I know very little about the finance side of the world, so I'm just trying to, I only hear bits and snippets of what's a good interest rate, what's a bad interest rate, and things like that. And 8% seems to be on the upside or on the other side of a good interest rate. So I was just kind of curious how you got to that number, but it's probably not really all that important. I was just curious.
Actually,
TJ?
it's a really great question. And go ahead. I hear WH wants to chime in
I
here.
want to follow up with that if I could. So
Absolutely.
this example of 8% was taken from the historical averages of the S&P, and you can Google that, okay? And you will see in the last 50 to 100 years, the S&P return on average is somewhere between about 10.15% and 10.5%. So obviously we like to keep the rosy glasses off and a more realistic picture of what the historical averages are. So we picked 8%. This would reflect the growth of uninterrupted compound interest over a 60-year uninterrupted compound cycle. So many would not believe that $10,000, if compounding every year after 6 years, would grow into virtually $1.2 million. And that is the power of uninterrupted compound interest at 8%. But again, if you Google S&P return market, you will see that the historical averages are above 10%. So we picked the 8% because we want to show a more conservative example. I hope that further answers your question.
It does. It absolutely does. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Thank you,
These
WH.
figures can never go down.
KJ, I couldn't hear that last word.
These
repeat.
these figures can never go down because it's guaranteed interest.
It has a feature that will protect any stock market decline. It's built in to protect the consumer. The insurance market or the insurance industry, I will tell you, is highly regulated. And it's regulated for one very important reason: to protect the consumer. So the answer is it will never go negative. Why? Because there's a security measure put in. So when the market goes below zero, the account is protected from losing ever $1.
So this compared to a 401k.
Now we're jumping into something else, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna continue, Chris, because I hear where your mind is going, and we're gonna talk about 401k. So hold that question.
Before you do that, Kandyce, there's a couple questions in the chat.
Of course. I don't see the questions. I'm sorry. Can someone read the question?
It's asking, is this chart only utilizing the $10,000, or was additional money deposited? And the other question is, what is the minimum contribution to open an account?
Great questions. So no, this is only $10,000, and there was no additional monies added to the account. You can add more, certainly, and the numbers do change depending on your age, your gender, your health. This is a life insurance contract, so it is different for the individual. So this person was 20 years of age. I believe they were a male, and that was $10,000, and that was what was projected at 8%. The second question was the minimum. Was it the minimum? For
Yes.
children, we like to start children at about $25 monthly and have their wealth accumulate from that point, 25, 50, 100. It's whatever is comfortable for the client, whatever their life goals are. And we certainly sit down individually because it's case by case. And so for an adult, who's in their 30s or 40s, $25 really wouldn't make any sense because we do need to leverage that the money is being put into the policy. But for a child, a good starting point would be $25. So it just varies. And we'll show you how you can sit with a WH Steiner representative and see what it would look like for you. Does that answer? I hope that answers your question. And do we have any more questions? Okay, so Chris, I believe that was Chris's question about the 401k, and we're going to dive into that now in just a minute, just very softly. But again, remember, this cannot be done without Rule 7702. And we make sure that we are in compliance with this, and we build the 702S plan around our clients to make sure that you're getting all of these key benefits and features. So had you had a 702S plan when the market crashed in 2008, what this is showing you is two very powerful points. The 401k has inherent risk due to market volatility and stock market declines. Our 702S plan protects from market volatility and stock market decline. Now, that means that in 2008, if you had $1 million inside of your 401k, in 2007, by the end of 2008, your account value would have fallen 38.49%. Therefore, your 401k account value would have dropped to $615,100. Your 702S plan would have resulted in no loss of account value and would have protected you from the volatility of the stock market decline. Therefore, your account value would have remained unchanged at $1 million. Now, some people say, but I didn't gain anything. Well, no, but you didn't lose anything either. And this is not just about the money. This is about the time, the energy, the passion, the commitment that you had for saving for your future. That was just taken away for no fault of your own. And now it takes people years to make up that much money. So we're just sharing some different strategies that you might want to consider, and you certainly would have protection inside of the 702S plan. So I don't want to get to the end because WH is going to talk about the Secure Act 2.0, which has to do with retirement for the future. But I do want you to see the importance of protection and that we do value your time and your energy.
AJ, before you go any further, there was a gentleman that was going to hit on the topic of 401k question. I believe that
Yes,
allow
Chris.
him to ask that question.
Absolutely. Thanks, WH. Chris,
You're
did you
welcome.
still have a question about that 401k?
Just the level of risk that in a 401k you can signify like I'm going to be a moderate investor or high risk investor, or are there different levels of risk to take in a 702, or is it just the same risk for everybody?
KJ, may I answer that question?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the 401k was created 46 years ago. It was created to be an add-on to the pension, so people would have some more money. For some reason, one reason or another, the 401k became involved in the mindset of Americans that this was the retirement plan. And because of that, there's volatility of that decision-making or that mindset. In a 401k, it's connected directly to the stock market. When the market goes up, the account value will go up naturally. And when the market goes down or has a strong decline, people see a big adjustment in their 401k account value. And depending on your age, it could be very, very devastating, not allow you to retire maybe on time. Just the sense of losing money when you had no decision-making in that process is heartbreaking. In the 702S plan, it's, you do have control and you will never lose $1. So the question about risk is, I know this is going to be hard to believe, but the way this is structured, there is zero risk. Now, is there risk to the person who's living? Yes, of course. They could pass away the next day. But when it comes to the risk of the account value going down because the stock market went down, I will share with you, it is zero risk. And that is because the way it is structured is done that way solely to protect the consumer. So Now, can you pick different indexes? Of course. Do they work a little differently, but generally structurally the same? 100%. So when you speak to any of us at WH Steiner, we'll be happy to answer and show you the different indexes and those historical averages, so you can make a decision with knowledge behind it, and not be an emotional decision, but a decision of factual information. I hope that further answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. Floor recognizes the lady from Hamilton. KJ?
Thank you, WH. And I would just like to also kind of piggyback on that and leave a comment here. As the next generation, representing the next generation of retiring, of the retirement people, I heard so many terrible stories about 401k and was very confused about how it worked. We're not saying that you need to replace 401k, but if you have questions about risk, I highly recommend that you talk to your HR department and your employer and ask them if there's any way that they can help protect you. And this is an educational call. We just want you to know that this is available. And I want the next generation of wealth builders to know that this is available, that we don't have to inherit the same risk as our grandparents and our parents, and that there are other alternatives out there. And things are changing all the time. We've got AI now. We're all on a Zoom call, virtual meetings. Things change all the time. So to stay educated and to teach yourself, I know that it's hard and we get set in our ways, but Google all of this stuff, research all of these things. Bring the people that you have questions, bring your questions to the people who manage your retirement, your income, all of that. We would love to have a discussion and even work together to secure the financial future for our community here in Hamilton. So we put together a variety of illustrations, some designs so that you can see what the 702S plan is doing. And I've had the pleasure, we're not using real images of real people, but these are real scenarios of people that we've helped and what all of this is doing. And I'm not going to go through all of these, but I will show you just a few just to give you a quick at a glance of what this can do. So there was a real estate agent, age 27 years of age, monthly contributions of $1,000. Contributions continuing until age 65 because that's when he wants to retire. So lifetime contributions will be $456,000 in total from the time that he was a young man to when he decides to retire. And again, this is an individual case. So we scheduled his retirement to be 65 years of age. Now the distributions from 65 to 79 years of age will be tax-free annual distributions of $200,000. And yes, that's tax-free, not tax-deferred. They're two different things. This is tax-free. Distributions from 80 to 90 years of age, you would think that they go down, but because of the uninterrupted compound interest feature, the tax-free annual distributions actually go up the older you get. So now we're not worried about running out of money. Now we have lifetime income. So instead of going down, it goes up to $350,000. Again, that's tax-free. Annual distributions. The accumulated lifetime wealth, lifetime tax-free total distribution is over $5 million. It's $6,850,000 for saving $456,000. $6,850,000. So I don't know who's still here, but Rusty, do you think that saving $456,000 in the total career from age 27 to 65 and getting close to $7 million for a lifetime tax-free total distribution. You think that is a pretty fair deal?
Wish I'd have known it when I was 20.
Me too. So yeah, tax-free estate benefit at age 90 is 1,967,824. And tax-free accumulated benefits are a total of $8,817,824. Now, yeah, the million total and the dollar signs look great, but what I see here is somebody's lifetime. I see milestones, I see challenges, I see a dream. And now we are able to provide that by simply teaching. And that's very exciting. So I meet a lot of these guys here in Hamilton. We've got some hard workers here. Electrical contractor, age 42, monthly contributions, $750. He's got a family. Contributions continue until age 65. Lifetime contributions will be $207,000. Way to go, awesome. Scheduled retirement will be 65 years old. Distributions from 65 to 84, he's gonna get $50,000 annually, okay, tax-free. Distributions from 85 to 90, tax-free annual distribution of $75,000. It's amazing. Accumulated lifetime wealth, over $1 million. We got $1,450,000 of lifetime tax-free total distribution. So he gets to go to bed at night, market crashes, guess what? He's okay, he's safe. That's why he can smile. And because this is a life insurance product, if anything should happen and arthritis kicks in and he's not able to go to work or there's an accident, there's a payout to him as well to secure his future, make sure his family is not going to suffer. So we've got business owners, we've got assistants, we've got hairstylists. There are different amounts. We want to encourage you to sit with us and see what it looks like for you. Now, this call is almost complete. I just wanted to share a few more things. Access to account accumulation, that's something that you definitely have inside of the 702S plan. You'll have funds anytime after 2 years via loans from your account accumulation. I know that there are some plans out there that you've got to wait a certain amount of time, like, 59.5 or 10 years or whatever, but we want you to know that after 2 years, you have access to your plan and for whatever you need. You can choose to pay the loans back at your discretion or allow the estate benefit to settle any loans upon your passing, which means if you take out any money out of your 702S plan, when you pass away, you do have a death benefit, but we don't like to call it death. It's estate benefit because we like to focus on the life side. And then any debts are settled that way, so your family doesn't inherit any debts. Loans can be used for any reason, including liquidity for your personal or business needs, and you can create your own personal bank. You'll have emergency funds, which we call your living benefits. So if you're diagnosed with terminal illness or a critical illness or a chronic illness, with the 702S plan, you'll have funds for that as well. Your estate benefit for your loved ones and businesses will also be protected. You'll have protection for your loved ones from debts, taxes, more taxes, and mortgages to continue life without financial hardship. And Kathy, do you think that your loved ones would appreciate if you looked out for them so that they're not inheriting any of the risks and pains that come along with your passing? Do you think that might be important to your family?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, so this is what we're talking about, protecting our loved ones, the American people. Yeah, and you'll also have liquidity for any business or partnership arrangements to provide for buyouts or continuity of the business. So if you don't want to continue a business partnership, you can certainly withdraw from this plan with your business partner and buy out your business partnership with this as well. You have funds for special needs or charities, and I really love that. So if you have any charities that are dear to you that you would love to give to and donate to, this is amazing for that. And of course, they wouldn't inherit any type of financial taxation or pains. This is just something that you can give from your heart to your charity. So if you love animals or anything like that, you can certainly use this for that, which is amazing. So sitting with us is very simple. We love to sit one-on-one with you or a virtual meeting, but we simplify the understanding of this contract. So we don't use big words where you're like, it sounds great, but I don't understand what it is that I have. We like to sit with you and make sure that you understand the contract and ask away. There's no such thing as a dumb question, for sure. We customize and personalize client illustrations. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I wonder what that looks like for me, you can certainly request an illustration for yourself. And we're not going to pressure you. We just want to educate you and show you. So if you're a young adult or a teenager and you're working hard and you want to see what your future looks like, sit with us. We'd love to show you and inspire you towards more greatness and keep you dreaming and working. Insurer's contract meets all IRS tax code 7702 requirements. We're going to make sure that you are covered completely so that you do have tax-free disbursements when you need them. And we assist in maximizing tax-free accumulation and distributions for you. It's all about you. So there's the American flag again. I just love it so much. My heart just, every day I wake up, I love waking up in my community here in Hamilton and knowing when I walk down the street, when I see a flag or at a dealership or anywhere, that I can potentially help serve that person and give them safety and security and peace of mind for his or her family and business and themselves. And I want to thank you all at the Hamilton Chamber for allowing us to come in and even share this and teach you about Rule 7702. Please, we need to share with them the change that's happened for the Secure Act 2.0 before we end this call. So would you please share about that, please?
Sure. So first of all, there was a question about an age question on how when a contract can begin. Normally, it would be with a newborn that's 2 weeks of age. Okay. Yeah. All right. So to dive into the Secure Act 2.0 would require a lot of time. So I'm going to give you the real short summary of the most important part of this. This act was signed in by law by the President of the United States the year before, and it was done so Americans can have a little bit more security and the ability to save more, because the government, or we all have agreed that it would behoove our country to become more savers than spenders. And so with that said, the Secure Act allows more savings, more credits, and the ability to have a better retirement plan. But there is still an inherited issue about market volatility. So when the market goes down, so does the account. So is there a better way? Is there a better means for Americans to save with more security? The answer is yes. The 702S plan allows you to save money without that volatility, and to, and of course, the power of uninterrupted compound interest. And at the end of the day, our plan provides you the ability to save more and also have the flexibility of month to month to save less. But this is probably the most important takeaway. So even though it's there to motivate and inspire our country to save more, at the end of the day, there are a lot of businesses that will have any more than 10 employees. They will be required by law to have a plan put aside for their employees. Again, the government sees that it would be better for our country to become more saving oriented. But if you want, as an employer, to do it on your own because you want to save, some administrative costs, because obviously there are administrative costs when you get a 401k, and many people would like to save a little of that money, there's a sense of responsibility to the employee. So if a plan that you set the employee up and you're managing that, you're the administrator, otherwise you have to pick a third-party administrator, the responsibility can be very, very somewhat dangerous. Why? Because if there's any account loss to that particular employee of their retirement plan, the employer will have to compensate and pay for any potential or losses. And I don't believe any business owner would want that level of responsibility. So on the flip side, if you want to create and provide the best for your employees, then have the opportunity for them to save money without market volatility and allow them access after a short period of time, and to be able to create this type of wealth tax-free distribution, then the 702S plan is the plan that is evolving 46 years after the fact of what the government created. And this plan is an individual plan to which I believe is a plan that would be better suited for most, if not all, to be able to plan a better retirement, have access to their savings throughout most of their entire lifetime. Remember, after the second year, and things happen. And when there are bumps in the road, we want a source of somewhere where we have some financial security, and the 702S plan provides that. I want to thank you, Dan, for inviting me and everyone here at WH Steiner. We're proud to be a chamber member of your great city. And of all many leaders that I've seen in the Chamber of Commerce, you are an incredible asset to your city, clearly. And we only hope that you never leave, that you stay where you are for a lifetime and then some. And again, thank you for allowing me to be part of this great call today.
Well, after comments like that, my gosh, you just made my day.
Well,
Laura's going to close us out. This is a very informative presentation. Thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to you, Laura.
Okay, yes, definitely very informative. Looks like Rusty had a question there. He was concerned about a friend of his, and if somebody gets started a little bit late, maybe at 56 years old. So Rusty will get you connected with Kandyce, and I'm sure she can answer all your questions there. We will be back for our next coffee and conversations. That'll be in 2 weeks on February 27th. We're going to hear from Curtis Clark and Scott Thomas that day. They will be presenting on behalf of Champion Health. Their presentation will be on Section 125 cafeteria plans and how they can benefit employers, large or small. So Kandyce and WH and Kathy and Alexandra, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate you taking some time to share. If you want to, Kandyce, do you want to give your information in case anyone wants to contact you with questions?
Absolutely. You can reach us on the chamber directory, WH Steiner. Type in 702S plan. Reach us online, www.whsteiner.com. Reach out to me. I'm a representative on the chamber. You might see me walking around, yell my name, Kandyce, hey, come talk to me. Don't be afraid to talk to me and wave hello. You can reach me via email, kjones@whsteiner.com. Thank you guys for being here. And it's not too late, Rusty, by the way.
All right. Thank you all. We will see you all in a couple weeks.
Have a good day,
Have a
everyone.
great day, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.